All right, let's talk about building a way out of the digital chaos we all live in. Today, we're going to explore a completely new way to design your digital workspace, a system that actually works for you, so you can stop just managing information and finally start using it.
You know the drill, right? You update a project status in your to-do list, then you have to pop over to a shared doc and update it there, and then you have to remember to put it in your weekly plan. It's this constant, manual, digital double entry, and honestly, it's exhausting.
And this slide really nails the difference. Over on the left, that's the old way. It's a total mess of separate apps that don't talk to each other. It's just chaos. But on the right, that's the functional way. It's one central system where all your information is connected, and get this, it updates itself. It's a shift from total chaos to total clarity. Okay, to make this feel real, let's follow one single idea through a functional system. Let's say we're making a video called Why Static Systems Fail. Now, normally, you'd be copying and pasting info about this video into 4, maybe 5 different places. But in this new system, the video only exists in one place. It's just projected or shown everywhere it needs to be. So projection number 1, the content calendar. Because the system knows this is a piece of content, boom, it just shows up here automatically. And notice what it shows, only the stuff a content manager cares about. The status, the publish date, and a link to the preview. And here's where it gets really cool. That exact same video item also appears in the company's high-level goal review. We've told the system this video helps with the goal of educating 1,000 people, so it projects it here too. But look, the information is different. It's showing strategic details like impact potential and its completion status. Now, what about the person who's actually making the video? Well, it shows up in their personal to-do list. Again, it's the same item, just shown in a new context. This view gives them what they need, the priority, how long it should take, and the very next step. You don't have to create a separate task. It's already there. And finally, maybe in a simple weekly plan, it shows up one more time. But here, it's super minimal, just the title and the status. It's just enough info for planning without all the clutter. So that's 4 different views, 4 different contexts, all powered by one single source of truth. And this is the mantra, the core principle behind this whole idea. Update once, change everywhere. What that means is if you change the video status from editing to published in any one of those views, it instantly updates across all of them. No more double entry, ever. Now, I know this can feel a bit like magic, but I promise you, it's not. It's just really smart architecture. So, how do you actually build this? Well, it all boils down to 3 core concepts that are the foundation for any functional system. So, concept number 1 is the tag family. The best way to think of this is like the DNA or the blueprint for a type of information. For our video, it belongs to the content family, and that family sets the rules. It says that all content must live in a central content vault, and that it must be able to connect things like projects and goals. Okay, so if the tag family is the DNA, the second concept, fields, are the relationship rules. They're the pathways that let all your information connect in a meaningful way. A field is what lets you define that our video, for example, belongs to a specific project or leads to a specific company goal. These connections are what make all those magic projections possible. And the third concept is the terminal tag. Let's stick with our DNA analogy. If the tag family is the overall blueprint, the terminal tag is the specific expression of that blueprint. So our video tag gets all the rules from its content family, but it has its own unique layout, that custom view we saw earlier, which is totally different from how you'd want to see, say, a blog post or a tweet. Now, that might sound a little abstract, but here's the really great news. You can design this entire architecture yourself. You don't need to be a developer. You just need to ask 4 simple, straightforward questions. This is how we make it practical. So the very first question you have to ask when you're thinking about a new type of information is just this. Where does it live? I mean, every single thing in your system needs to have a permanent home address. And the answer is to define its destination. For all your projects, maybe that's a projects vault. For your daily notes, their home is literally the date on a calendar. When everything has a home, nothing ever gets lost. This is step 1 to an organized life. All right, once you know where it lives, the next question is all about building that network of relationships. What does this thing need to connect to for it to be actually useful? The answer here is to define its fields. You get to decide what it must connect to, like a task must always have a project, and what it might connect to. These required and optional connections are what turn a simple database into an intelligent, interconnected web. So now we get to the fun part, the visuals. You've got this one piece of data, but you need it to look different in different situations. So the question becomes, how should it present itself? And here you define its layout. In a big picture project plan, you probably only need to see a task's title and who owns it. But when you click into the task, you want to see everything. Defining different layouts for different contexts is what makes a system feel smart and intuitive. Okay, the final question takes us from just storing information to actually taking action. It's not just about what a thing is, but what should it be able to do? What are the things you find yourself doing over and over? And the answer is to define its capabilities. This is where you can add a button that instantly changes a task status from to do to done, or an automation that sends a notification when a project is finished. This turns your system from a passive database into an active partner in getting work done. So why does all of this architectural work matter? Well, this table shows you the incredible power of this approach. With a typical manual system, if you have 10 items, you might have over 40 places you need to manually update. 100 items? That's over 400 updates. But with a functional system, whether you have 10 items or 1,000, you only have one set of rules to think about. One. And that really brings us to the big takeaway here. You define the rules for your information just one time. Then, those rules are automatically inherited by every single item of that type. This lets your system scale basically forever without creating more work for you. So just think about it. All that time you spend right now just connecting things, updating statuses, reorganizing information, what if you could get all of that time back to do the actual work that matters? What if your system finally started working for you?